Happy Sunday, y'all. Boruto episode 203. It is here. We got some Jigen versus Naruto, a little sneak. Part one of the whole thing, because hands are about to get thrown. But no introduction. Fuck the introduction, dog. We gonna get straight into this shit. So Jigen versus Naruto. And just to give y'all a little bit of sum up, we did get that flashback of Jigen absorbing the 10 Tails chakra, so he has a bit of a power boost. He came through prepared. He came through with that clip loaded. And we also get that little thing. I'm just throwing it out there because I feel like some people might just bring this up as, oh, Naruto was tired. He woke up a little bit groggy that morning. We gonna give him that. But Kurama said it himself when they came to the fisticuffs, when it came to the blows getting thrown. Kurama just told Naruto, like, dog, this nigga ain't Delta, bro. And we kind of get that through the fighting style of Naruto. There ain't no fucking talking. There's no fucking time to talk. We going full on sage mode, my nigga. We can't discuss shit with this nigga. There's no Delta, let's go easy on you and we're gonna take you hostage and ask you some questions. It's like, nah, dog, this is now or never. We gotta fuck this nigga up. So that's for one. And for two, Jigen entering the Hokage's house was executed. It was done perfectly. I would say that. There was no type of noise. This nigga enters the house, you could feel the tensity in the air. There's no birds chirping. There's no fucking background music. It's just the Hokage, it's Kawaki, and it's Jigen. This motherfucker, of course, we got the famous quote, my bad, nigga, I'm wearing shoes in your house, bro. I'm, sorry, dog. The way he was animated in that scene, they got the jaw structure, they got everything perfect. There's a few, lines missing from his scalp or whatever the fuck. But all in all, the nigga came out looking good. This is probably the best looking Jigen that we've gotten. And we haven't even gotten that full, animation. We ain't got the fucking hands getting thrown animation yet. I'm not too sure if it's going to be 189. Like how niggas was just looking straight off the fucking page of the manga. But I'm excited for it. Of course, we got the little sneak peek at the end. But I'll say that for furthermore in the video, bruh. And of course, Jigen kicks the shit out of Naruto. But my favorite moment really of this whole sequence of in the battle, this little preview battle, was honestly Konohamaru getting his fucking ass beat. Even before the fight begun, when he was letting Hinata out to go grocery shopping and whatnot, as soon as I seen Konohamaru standing guard, I'm just looking like, dog, what the fuck? Like he irritated me. Him being on screen, and at this point, I know Konohamaru, allegedly he has talent, and I know we be talking shit about Konohamaru, but sometimes I just see this nigga, I'll be like, what the fuck you doing, bro? Go home, nigga, fuck you. Kicks the shit out of Naruto, puts the hands on Konohamaru, and this is one of those things where I cheered for Jigen. I found myself yeah, fuck this nigga, he think he really gonna do something. Naruto told you to stay the fuck back, bruh. Konohamaru pulls out the Rasengan. Don't shit happen with that bullshit. And I want to say, even if it's not true, I'm going to just say Jigen broke that nigga's arm. Jigen broke his fucking arm. I'm saying that shit. Fuck it. Jigen broke his arm. And there was a certain thing that Jigen had said. Is this all the Leaf has to offer? Is this their fucking Jonin? Is this what it really is? I want to say Victor said the same shit. It was either Victor. I don't think it was Al. I think it was Victor. I think Victor said that shit. So that's the second time this nigga just gets disrespected like that. They treat this nigga like he's a mall cop, bruh. Who knows what the fuck's gonna happen with him in the future? Does he get a training arc, bruh? Does he get some ninja tech? What the fuck happens for him for the time skip? Because this nigga got to get his shit together, and that's just facts, bruh. And of course, with that, there was a few tweaks. Jigen asks about Boruto in the manga. He doesn't really do that. He's just like, yo, nigga, my son, I'm taking my motherfucker. We going home. This time he kind of just teases Naruto as more so in a way where I'm thinking he's letting him know that I'm aware of the situation, what's popping off. It's a shame your son Boruto wasn't here. Otherwise I'd be robbing that motherfucker too. And he displays a new move we haven't seen. And I just think that was kind of just to add some length to the episode, even though we did bruh, we got some anime exclusive content. We got all of chapter 36 and then the opening stages of chapter 37. It's about I think 12 to 13 pages of chapter 37. We got a lot of we got some juice in this motherfucker. This was one of my favorite episodes that released within the past few months. Not my past few months. Maybe for being month, because I have this thing where I've been enjoying the anime exclusive or the anime canon episodes more than the manga episodes. But I feel like this was probably the best manga canon episode that we've got so far. And just to tail it off with the whole topic of Jigen versus Naruto, Sasuke, bruh. Sasuke came out through the clutch. And my main thing with Sasuke, it's like interesting because when we got the time skip, there was like a moment where I'm like, damn, this is beautiful because Sasuke and Naruto have come a long fucking way. Like that moment where he witnesses Jigen absorbing the Ten Tails chakra, the first thing that pops into his mind is like, dog, I gotta let Naruto know this is some crazy ass shit. That moment right there, I know it's a small little thing, but that just made me realize like these motherfuckers have came a long way. Like, dog, we went from chasing your ass for like 2 whole series, trying to get your ass to come back to the village. We finally on the same page, and then we get that whole thing where he comes and saves Naruto. Like, hey, he caught you sleeping, loser. Like that's just dope shit, dog. Like that shit, that touched my heart. That whole like little, hey, what's up, my nigga? We friends again. Now this next little segment, this is for Kawaki, right? There is like some interesting little parallels going on here. And this just pretty much stems with the battle of 2 dads, like dad versus dad, like on some no homo shit. Like my 2 dads are fighting each other. There's a thing where it's kind of like Kawaki may be completely fatherless. And I don't know if it's something where he's trying to keep his guard up, if it's something he doesn't really want to necessarily admit to. Because there is that moment in the beginning of the show where Naruto's like, you know, you're my son too. It's like, I have 2 sons. They both like, you know, talk shit to me. This nigga Kawaki, although he hesitates, he's like, I'm not your son, bruh. And to me, it makes me think maybe in his mind, everything is conditional. Like, okay, I get it. You're here, you're protecting me. You may even be treating me well, but at the end of the day, we're not blood. And I know there's other priorities. However, Naruto blows that shit out though. He's like, dog, nigga, you my son, bro. Nigga, fuck all that bullshit. I gotta protect the village. I gotta protect my family. You're included in this shit, right? We get that. But it's just interesting to see where he tells Naruto, I'm not your son. Jigen comes in eventually, you know, furthermore in the episode, he says the same shit. Like, I'm not your fucking son, bro. He says it a little bit more, you know, he has a little bit more spice when he's talking to Jigen. But it was just beautiful. Even when he's like kneeling down, the moment where Jigen's about to teleport through Kawaki's karma, it's like, there's a beautiful little scene where he's on his knees, he's kneeling. You see the fucking Naruto's hand. You see Jigen's curse mark or karma seal. So that whole little thing where he's just on an island, he's in between. And it makes me think, like, is this something that he holds on to throughout this whole series, even furthermore into the time skip, where he just feels like he's on this island? Because who's gonna fill that void? We've seen him be compared to the vase and shit. Like, okay, it's the pieces are coming back together. My life is slowly coming together, but I still have that emptiness. I still have that one piece that's missing. And maybe that's just like his mentality, where it's just like he's too damaged to be repaired. There's always gonna be that thing in the back of his mind where he's like, okay, you say you love me, okay, but it is conditional. Maybe that's just something he believes. So if anyone goes rogue, because I know niggas like to say, oh, Boruto might go rogue in the future, I think in a way it's gonna be Kawaki. Like, it's gonna be, of course, we see in the timeline in the future. And one more thing, there's this interesting thing where after Kawaki gives his whole big speech, and this is where it could be kind of like he's just masking. He doesn't want Naruto to know how much he cares about him until that very moment, where he's almost afraid to open up. He's afraid to get attached. We've seen this when he's escaping the hospital. He has that little conversation with Sumire. He shoos the dog away. Like, don't get close to me. Anytime I get close to something bad happens. I don't want you guys to be, you know, I don't want shit to pop off because you're trying to help me. So that could be another thing. He's just trying to hide his true love for Naruto. But there's that moment where Jigen takes Naruto to the other dimension, and he's just like reaching out to them. He's like, no, Jigen, don't do this shit. That made me think for the time skip. Now, take Kawaki. Replace him. That's Boruto now. Boruto is now looking at Kawaki and Naruto. Naruto's getting sucked wherever the fuck Kawaki takes that nigga. So it's gonna be like in the future. It would be dope to see if that's how that kind of plays out, where you can put those panels or moments in the anime side by side. Because this is like, that didn't really, well, that did happen. That did happen in the manga. But like the way they executed this shit, it came out crisp, bro. Like, this shit came out wet, dog. And that's about it for Kawaki. Now, there are some things that happen interesting with the side characters, and we get to kind of figure out his reputation around the Leaf Village. You know, with the question being, do we trust him? Do we not trust him? Chojo, you know, thick ass. Oh, that nigga cute, bro. You know, all that type of shit. But the thing that I took away from that whole little moment when they're playing the card game is I still find it almost amazing that they generate interest. Like, to me, I'm still interested in them. We haven't seen them in fucking, I don't even know how long, bro. Like, Iwabe was there and shit. Like, I haven't seen these niggas in years. But it feels like I still have this curiosity towards them. And the way the anime kind of explains it, it's like, yeah, we haven't had any big missions and shit. Like, we haven't really been doing shit. Like, we probably been saving cats or whatever the fuck, helping ladies across the street, going grocery shop, doing DoorDash type shit, compared to what, of course, Boruto and shit have been going through. And that's honestly good enough of an excuse, because if you think about it, Team 7 and Boruto, they're really only doing crazy shit out of their circumstances. Like, it just so happens that they got wrapped up in some crazy ass shit. With the world as it is, I don't think we would see them doing anything too crazy either. You know, it's just like circumstances have taken them there. Circumstances have allowed them to raise to these type of situations and shit. But as far as the rest of the characters go, I'm still curious to what happens to them. How do these crazy ass moments impact them? Because it's not like their parents are trash, right? We have some good little, we got, the next generation has potential. They still have potential, although they're raised in this little soft era. But this shit is going down, bro. This shit is beginning to diminish. And let's say like Naruto dies or some shit. I think that's enough of a catalyst for these niggas to just get their shit together and become them niggas. Another thing I liked was the whole Iwabe thing. I felt like that was some fan service where we get that panel. Like, that was one of my favorite moments where we get the Kawaki and Iwabe standing side by side. They kind of have like this rivalry growing. And if you remember, like, Iwabe, when he was first delivered to us, he was kind of talked about as one of the leading ninja of the new generation. He was, of course, he's older than all these motherfuckers. He's held back twice. But him and Boruto had like a little bout, but I want to say he got the best of Boruto. He was stronger at the time, a little bit more trained. But at this point, it's like, nigga, I got the karma seal. I've been throwing hands, nigga. I fought Ao. I did Momoshiki and all that shit. Like, all that happened. Who knows where Iwabe's at? We know he's not too much of a strategist, or strategist, because the nigga was getting scraped the card game. But still, at the end of the day, it was dope to see them all. And yeah, that was one of my favorite moments of the episode too. Just them sitting at the card game. They need to drop that fucking card game. I wish this show was like on some My Hero Academia type level of popularity. That way we could play this shit, because I would be down, dog. Online, whatever the fuck, however they give it. I would rather play the physical version. But if they had like the mobile app, I would be fucking with that shit too. And I gotta talk about my nigga Mitsuki, because I know he had like one line in this whole series, or this whole episode, but I just feel as if his character development is probably the most underrated, because whenever he talks to Boruto, it's almost as if he's like Boruto's older brother. And he's come a long way from being just that follower of Boruto to the person who's almost Boruto's mature side, the one that's looking out for him. Are you good, bruh? And not only has he moved on from being just that follower of Boruto, he's moved on from Orochimaru's order, you know, the whole, you know, stick close to Boruto, his whole mission for Orochimaru. He's moved on from that shit. And it kind of makes me think about his development, and all those episodes devoted to Mitsuki. I feel like they were like something where they killed two birds with one stone. Of course, we get to see Mitsuki develop, but we also start to earn the trust of Orochimaru, or he earns our trust. Because if at the beginning of the series, it's kind of like he was still kind of shady. Like, dog, we got motherfuckers surrounding you 24/7. You on watch. A lot of the shit that was popping off initially with like the whole curse mark collars and shit, like a lot of things were starting to be dragged towards Orochimaru. The whole clones in the Stone Village, a lot of shit, like it seems like, okay, Orochimaru might be a villain again. Like, there was a lot of shit popping off. But if you see this version of Mitsuki, this is exactly what Orochimaru wanted from Mitsuki. He's his own man. He's his own person. And I feel like he's going to be a heavy character for this series. As long as they don't do him like they did my nigga Neji, I feel like with the Sage mode, with the whole moon being Boruto's moon and shit, the light for the darkness, I feel like Mitsuki will come through in the future of this series. And plus, come on, bruh. He's just that nigga, bruh. Fuck, he's my favorite character. Like, I feel like I've forgotten how much I liked Mitsuki because y'all don't know Kasha. I fuck with Kachikoji too, but Mitsuki is that nigga. But I like, all right, it goes Mitsuki, then it goes Boruto, then it goes Kachikoji for me. That's me. And my last point, this is something I'm kind of sad to see. They took away the whole Sarada asking her mom about her mark on her forehead relating to the karma seal. Like they took that shit out. I was like, I was holding out for it. We didn't get it a few episodes ago when they were training and shit, and I was thinking they would like roll it out later. Maybe it's something that Orochimaru brings up, hopefully. But they replaced that with Sarada going and buying Kawaki some flowers. So maybe they're trying to push like a little love interest type thing. Because that whole flower shop scene was Sarada looking for her mother specifically to ask that question. However, we get the remix. She's going there to buy flowers, you know, for that vase. I think her dad was coming. Like she was on a mission. Like her mother sent her to that flower shop, and she's buying flowers for like Sasuke and Kawaki. So like they switched that up there. But hey, all in all, we'll see what the fuck happens. A gasser of an episode, bruh. Peace. Take care, nigga. Happy Sunday. I'll see y'all niggas next week. Ooh, I'm hyped, bro. I'm hyped.